Hello, I'm Amanda Crawford, and I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director of the Texas Department of Information Resources and the Chief Information Officer for the state of Texas. I oversee the state agency in charge of setting Texas's technology strategy and protecting the state's infrastructure from cyber threats. But I'm also the mom of 3 teenagers who, like most kids these days, spend a lot of time online. As technology continues to evolve, the tools available to our children increase in number and evolve in capabilities. And while technology can be used to educate and inspire creativity in our children, it can also expose them to risks, making the security of our devices vital. As parents and educators, the health and safety of our children is our main priority. And today, I want to share with you the security awareness practices that can help keep your families, schools, and communities safe online. We'll be talking about keeping your devices safe, using public Wi-Fi networks, and protecting your home network. I'll also cover how to talk to your kids about cybersecurity, which is so important, so you will know the signs of potential trouble or danger. We must talk to our children about how the digital world is a great resource, but it's also important that they're aware of the potential dangers, are careful with the type of information they share, and how they share that information. And don't worry, even if you feel uncomfortable with technology, there are several steps you can take to help protect yourself, your family, and your information from potential cyber threats. Let's start with device management. Think of all the devices in your household that connect to the internet: phones, tablets, computers, gaming systems, even smart appliances. How do you make sure that those devices are not at risk of being hacked? One of the most important things you can do to keep your devices safe is to ensure your devices are up to date using the latest software. When your devices notify you about a software update, install that update right away, or set them to automatically update. Those updates contain security patches that close loopholes that hackers can use to gain entry and access to your data, like passwords, payment information, photos, and more. Always, always, always make sure that you know what apps are on your children's devices, know what those apps do, and what type of information they monitor or collect. This can be done easily by checking the app settings and privacy disclosures. Now let's discuss an important security practice: creating strong passwords. Don't worry if you have a hard time keeping up with passwords or aren't sure where to start. We'll talk about a few password tips to make accessing your accounts more difficult for unauthorized users. First, the longer the password, the better, and use different types of characters, including numbers, symbols, and upper and lowercase letters. The longer and more complex the password, the harder it is for attackers to crack. Here's a tip. If you have trouble remembering passwords, consider using passphrases, such as a favorite movie line or a song lyric. Another recommendation is to group together several random words you'll remember, something like your favorite sport, food, color, or number. Never use your personal information, such as a date of birth, an address, or your pet's name as your password. Many times, new devices or web browsers have options to generate random, complex passwords. This is also an option. Use unique passwords for each account. Although this can be tedious, if an attacker gets one of your passwords, it will prevent other accounts from getting hacked and could limit what could potentially be a snowball effect of damage. A compromised password today could mean an empty bank account tomorrow. Worried about not remembering all those passwords? Try a password manager, which is an application or program that you can download and can also be handy with tracking multiple unique passwords. Now let's talk about your home network and how to protect your family from bad actors. Your home network has several components that hackers love to prey upon. For any home Wi-Fi networks you may have, it's a best practice to make sure that you have a strong password. Avoid using the default passwords on any of your network devices, and make sure to enable the encryption on your wireless networks. If you're using the equipment given to you by your internet service provider, encryption is probably already enabled, but you should make sure. If given a choice of encryption method, use the WPA2 encryption algorithm. That's currently the strongest type of encryption you can enable for your Wi-Fi. We've discussed how to keep our home network safe, but these days, most of us use the internet everywhere we go, especially when we have our children in tow. Going online in public often means using a public Wi-Fi network. Yes, we're talking about those times when you join the free coffee shop or public library Wi-Fi. While public Wi-Fi networks are useful, especially when we're trying to help keep our kids entertained, this type of internet connection comes with a risk of your valuable data becoming found, exposing the security of your personal information, digital identity, money, and more. The risks are even greater for devices not protected by an effective security and anti-malware product. If you truly need to access your accounts on the go, it's safer to do so from your personal phone network instead of the public Wi-Fi connection. You can also look at using a virtual private network, or VPN, to help provide you with a more secure connection. Also, most devices default to automatically connect to public Wi-Fi networks. Change to a more secure setting by navigating to your device network settings and select the option to Ask to Join Networks. Now, before we move on to our next topic, I want to ask you a few questions about how you use technology. Do you open email or even attachments for work or maybe volunteer activities? Do you open anything that may contain private information, such as Social Security numbers, driver's license numbers, or other identifying information? Do you just browse Facebook or maybe a news feed? Maybe just the Weather Channel or local events? If you said yes to any of those questions, your device could be at risk of being infected by a virus. Having a good antivirus software will help reduce your computer's risk of being infected. But with so many options on the market, how do you select the right one? First, determine what operating system the device uses, such as Windows, Apple's iOS, or Google's Android. The antivirus software solution you use must be compatible with your device's operating systems. Most people are used to using antivirus software on their personal computers, but you can also purchase antivirus for your phones, tablets, and other devices. Antivirus software is very effective at stopping most known viruses and malware. There are even free products available. Many products on the market allow a free trial before you buy them, which is a good way for you to try out the product and determine if it meets your needs. At the end of the day, installing some sort of antivirus software is always better than nothing. Protect your devices, their contents, as well as your personal information. A good thing to note, school-issued devices many times have software such as antivirus and other settings already in place to protect the student's information. However, your children still need to practice good cybersecurity hygiene, such as strong passwords. It's important to look at how you and your family use devices and for what purposes. Is it for school, work, managing your household, or entertainment? For instance, if you're paying bills, managing bank accounts, and using email, you are most likely paying more attention to cyber hygiene, such as creating strong passwords. If you are just using your device for gaming and streaming videos, are you paying as much attention to what you're doing online? If you click on YOOTube instead of YOUTube because you're not paying attention, you could be sent to a malicious website. Also remember that many of the online activities that you and your family use for entertainment feature chat functions. You need to educate your family to the potential dangers of meeting strangers during online activities, much like you teach your children to be wary of strangers approaching them in person. Even with software settings and strong passwords in use, it's important to educate yourself and your children about how to recognize phishing attempts by hackers. Phishing is an attack where hackers try to trick users into opening email attachments or links that cause harm. In fact, most major breaches at companies are caused by someone clicking on a single email containing a malicious attachment or a link to a harmful website. Phishing scams have been around for years, but today's bad guys have evolved along with the technology. The malicious emails that go out today are far more sophisticated than they were even 5 years ago, utilizing real companies, real logos, and much better grammar. So how can you tell if an email is legitimate? First, look at the sender's email address. If you get an email supposedly from a company you recognize, but the sender's email address does not include the company's name or contains weird combinations of characters, it could be a malicious email. In addition, if the email contains links, you can hover your mouse over the email to see the actual link location. If it's supposed to take you to the company website, but shows the address as something other than the company website, it could be malicious. And remember, reputable companies will never ask for your credentials or confidential information through email. When in doubt, don't click on the link or open the attachment. The final tip I have for you today is to make sure you talk to your kids about cybersecurity. Just like other issues that have the potential to harm our children, keeping an open line of communication regarding cybersecurity is vital to keeping them safe. Outside of adjusting privacy settings and parental controls on the devices your kids use, make sure they learn how to spot unusual behavior and encourage them to tell you about it. Teach your kids about proper online etiquette and encourage appropriate interactions. Supervise their screen time and make sure you are in the know about who they talk to and interact with online. Talk to them about the importance of keeping some information private, such as your name, home address, and phone number. Check their apps and devices frequently to make sure your kids haven't turned on location sharing or made their social media accounts public to anyone and everyone. As they get older, remind them that once information is online, it can't be taken back. It's online forever. Now I know this can all sound really scary, but there are many tools that can help. Before we close, I want to share a few free programs that support cybersecurity awareness and education available to your family. Neither you nor your children have to be cyber experts to participate in these fun opportunities. Check out the links in your handouts for more information. The National Cyber Scholarship Foundation, or NCSF, is a national competition that provides high school students the opportunity to compete for scholarships and training in cybersecurity. This year, Texas led the nation in the CyberStart America competition with 68 Texas high school students who were named National Cyber Scholars. The NCSF awarded 600 college scholarships to top-ranking competitors, and Texas students earned more than $575,000 in scholarships and training. Way to go, Team Texas. Texas will also have 2 students' artwork displayed in the upcoming 2022 National Stay Safe Online Calendar as a part of the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, or MSISAC, National Cybersecurity Awareness Poster Contest that ended earlier this year. Each year, students submit artwork relating to the importance of cybersecurity awareness. This annual event encourages teachers and students to engage in discussions about cybersecurity in grades K through 12. The agency I lead, DIR, holds an annual public service announcement, or PSA, contest in the fall for high schoolers, with the winners announced during Cybersecurity Awareness Month in October. Students create 30-second videos covering important topics such as hacking, social media, or phishing. A few years ago, one of the winning teams went on to win a national award with their video.
Here go nothing. Oof, got me a big one.
Protect your identity. You'll never know when you'll get hooked.
Again, go Team Texas. I hope the information I've shared with you today has been helpful. As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm the mom of 3 teenagers, triplets in fact, who are heading off to college, and we've been having conversations about device and internet safety since they were little. Cybersecurity was not something past generations of parents had to worry about when raising their children, but it is a big part of all of our lives now. And even though we may not like all that comes with these technologies, they're here to stay, and it is imperative that we teach our children how to responsibly and safely use them. Let's give our children the foundation they need to be able to safely and securely engage in today's connected world.